Hi Paula, how are you doing today? Are you excited to see our models? Well, I'm doing great, Erica, and I'm so excited to see what the models would look like with their attires. Alright, let's ask our audience if they are excited too. Are you all guys excited? Yes! Guys, we have a real treat for you today. In just a few moments, you will get a chance to see our models displaying some of the hottest fashion from 1950s to 2000s. You're right. This show isn't all about looking good. We're going to be looking at something that other fashion shows don't want you to know. So please get comfortable and pay attention because you don't want to miss even a single moment to our upcoming presentation. And first off, we've got Ms. Anel Jean Capulong for the opening remarks.
Kakasaya kay Gabi. Sinabi nga ni ano eh. Sinabi nga ni ano, tayo daw tayo.
Fashion has become a large part of identity of making the post-human world, in which people play dress-up with their clothing. Fashionable clothes reinvent people as sexual, desirable, and enigmatic. We care about what we wear because it is a great deal. You may not be chasing fashion, but you can be indifferent because fashion is inherent in our culture. And people are always impressed by those who know the taste of trendiest fashions. Our appearance depends on what we are wrapping. Fashion is about social status, success, individualism, and good taste. We like clothes that wear well, we dream of clothes that impress, and we desire clothes that make us perfectly gorgeous. Once again, good afternoon. May you all enjoy the rest of the show. Thank you, Ms. Anel Capulong. So now, are you guys ready for the main highlight of our program?
Yes!
So what are we waiting for? Let's now start with the fashion trend from 50s. It is the decade where fashion style were all about the prosperity. And it is where people became focused on the idea of looking like $1,000,000. And to give us more information, let's welcome Ms. Janelle K. De Leon. Good afternoon, everyone. Let me introduce to all of you the fashion in early 1950s. And one of this is by wearing clothing dress. Inner model's clothing dress was amazing. The body size are bone and light to give you a great pin-up bullet shape. It zips up your waist and zips your bust while lifting your waist to accentuate those curves. In your style, you put a deep side part make a starting point for a big suit of style being pushed up and back. In accessories, we use fashionable accessories like copper beads and spectacles. In makeup, we apply shimmer lipstick. We wrote out of color called Strawberry Mage, which was pastel pearly pink. With regards to shoes, she wears flat shoes which is in dark color. Therefore, fashion in 1950s was simple and elegant, that's also acceptable in pajama trends. That's all. Thank you, Ms. Janelle. And for the mid-50s, let's all welcome Ms. Christian Gail Quijano. The year 1955 was a year white might be termed silent simplicity in women's fashion. Clothes combined with sex appeal and fresh youthfulness and youth. The waistline was seldom marked by a belt, but its curve was apparent under a long, gently molded body. Parisian designer Dior and Balenciaga must set the pace, and they found ways to widen the shoulder line. Now, our model, Andy Persilio, wearing a floral pink dress with some touch of colors, were the favorites of 1955 fashion. The shoes, with picturely high, ultra-thin heels, elaborate trimming, and jeweled touch brought the focus of fashion to the beat, and that's all. Thank you, Miss Christian.
If this fashion was elegant, isn't it, Paula?
Yes, you are right, Erica, and I think it's a great
Erica.
experience to live on that decade. But for the meantime, let's now proceed to our next fashion review, the fashion trend from 60s.
During this decade, some of the fashion hits were the cute Align miniskirt, which looks adorable for girls, and the bright double-breasted jacket for men.
Ladies and gentlemen, let's give a big hand to Miss Danae Jean Capulang as she gives us the review of the 60s fashion.
The 1960s was a decade of sweeping change throughout fashion world, generating ideas and images which still appear in the modern world today. Whereas fashion has previously aimed at a wealthy, mature elite, the tastes and preferences of young people become important. At the beginning of the decade, the market was dominated by the Parisian designers of haute couture garments. Yet, the shape of clothes was transformed by new ideas emerging from the London pop scene. As we can look at the model, we can see a peasant outfit, which is structure as a very favorite part of the stereotypical hippie look jeans of the early decade of the 1960s. It became increasingly popular as the decade wore on. Hippie and disco fashions was very popular. Color was everywhere, bright, pastel, psychedelic patterns, geometric patterns, plaid, stripes, flowers, you name it, people had it all. I remember that the most common accessories was paired by beads and leather purses. Almost anything was hippie was a fringe. That's it for the 1960s. And for the mid-60s, let's all welcome Mr. Marlo Guico.
Ladies and gentlemen, may I present to you Miss Zelda Paya. The hippie clothes in the 1965 started the phenomenon that influenced Sarah Tyler to incorporate in the designer world. The hippie clothes always are easy to distinguish. These always include brightly colored fabrics with unusual style and pattern, long-haired skirts, bell-bottom pants. Hippie clothes. These are freaking yet boldness, which most hippies could identify with. The hippies tried to free themselves from social restriction. The hippie clothing therefore reflects this kind of thinking through the styles and cuts of the clothes. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Marlo. There you have it, the fashion trend of 60s. Now let's proceed to the decade known as the bell-bottom decade. It's the 70s.
So what are we waiting for? Let's welcome our next guest speaker, Miss Joy-Ann Librando. Ladies and gentlemen, I would like to introduce to you the fashion of 1970s. The most famous designer was Gil Beer. As you can see, her pants became fuller and fuller, and the knitwear she's wearing was made from the clothing fabric that came from the child of yarn. Knitting having found in Egypt and covered by year during 11th to 14th century, but knitwear became popular as year 1970. That's all.
Thank you, Miss Joy. And for the mid-70s, let's all welcome Miss Rachel Asuncion de Halde.
very fashionable for both men and women. They began as part of the hippie counterculture movement in 1960, together with love beats, granny glasses, and tidy shirts. In 1970s, they moved into the mainstream. In bell-bottom pants, you will need a tonic that goes with lane tonic. It is best if the tonic and the pants are perfectly matched. Also, what you need for bell-bottom pants is a pair of platform heels, or you could also wear a flats that are highly popular at this time. Thank you.
Maglakad. Di ba may...
And you just saw the first half of our presentation. Yes, you heard it alright. We still got decades from 80s to 2000s. So guys, are you now ready for the second batch of our models and guest speakers? I can hear you once again. Are you guys excited now? That's great, but you've got to hold up that excitement first, because we're going to pause for a quick break to give way for an intermission number from our guest. Let's give a round of applause to Miss Hazel Tan and Mr. Marco Jerome Enerio.